Good evening and welcome back to another video on All Holy Ale. Tonight we are going for blend number 3 from the Tiny Rebel 8th birthday pack. And blend 3 for me is the New England IPA offerings, which are these ones. You've got Paradise City, which is a Laurel and Mosaic New England IPA, and it weighs in at 6.8%, and its sister, brother, cousin, otherwise related somehow, I don't know, but it's this one. It is the Holy Hand Grenade. And Holy Hand Grenade is a Sabro and Nelson Sauvin hopped NEIPA at 6.8%. Also, on these two, you've got killer artwork, and it is very much paired alike. Yeah, you've got a bit of a dystopian scene going on this one, and on this one, it's kind of, well, semi-dystopian as well, but perhaps a little bit more optimistic. You know, not quite so much destruction in that one. Maybe they lost their appetite for destruction. Who knows? A little bit of a GNR inside thing there for those who aren't Guns N' Roses fans. Paradise City. Yeah, anyway. Holy Hand Grenade. That was an awesome weapon in the computer game Worms, if you remember it from back in the day. I digress. We're going music and computer games. What can I tell you about these beers? Not a lot, other than the usual ingredients. I like the bits that it says on here. We'll start on the Paradise City. On the back above the ingredients list, it says, does anyone actually read this bit? And then you've got the usual ingredients list of water, malted barley, wheat, oats, hops and yeast. And then on the other one it says, don't read it, just drink it. So who am I to question the advice of the brewers? So we're going to go and do exactly what they've suggested. So we're going to go Paradise City into the 7th birthday glass. And we're going to go for the Holy Hand Grenade into the 8th birthday glass as well. And we're going to do the same as before. We're going to go a little bit of each in each glass, try them on their own, blend them together, see what we think, and decide, do I prefer them on their own or blended together? Now, I love a New England IPA, and I had a good watch this morning of Scott and Wonders from the Wonder Beer Wonder channel of this particular blend. And yeah, I tried to avoid them, but I like watching the videos, so I got a bit of a sneaky peek of what to expect. So I'm going to try not to let it influence my thoughts. If you haven't already subscribed, go give Wonder Beer Wonder a look. There's some fantastic, funny videos on there. Documents the whole sort of travel of Wonder's beer discovery. It's great, and there's some quality moments as well. So we're going to start by pouring Paradise City, as said, into the 7th birthday glass. The pour is not as murky as Scott and Wonders. Let's get a bit more. Give him the cake. Give him the cake. Got cake on the brain. It's my son's 7th birthday meal tonight. You've got a relative. It's hazy. Don't get me wrong. It is hazy, but not overly so. No real head on it. It does look very different to Scott and Wonders can. Theirs was much more murky. No real head. Looks alright, let's have a whiff. Ah, see, now that smells like I expect a New England IPA. I expected a bit more murk though. It smells tropical, juicy. There's mango, there's a dankness that you get from the mosaic hop, and a bit of stone fruit, you know. All the things you expect from mosaic. Laurel, there's a little bit of spiciness going on, all that kind of jazz. And let's pour the Holy Hand Grenade. Now this one did appear more murky on Scott and Wonder's video, and it's the only one I've seen of it so far, like I say. The pour on this one, a little bit murky, but again, maybe not as murky as theirs. It's a little bit murkier, like side by side. You know, there's a clear win for the murk levels on the Holy Hand Grenade. A little bit more head. Yeah, let's have a whiff of this one now. There's a little element of coconut. There's a bit of pine resin. You've got, there's a little bit of a boozy note to it. which is nice. I like that. It's got more of that West Coast bitterness on the aroma, that bitter orange. I like the smell. So we're going to start by tasting the old Paradise City, which really isn't as murky as I was expecting. Anywho, let's have a taste. That's nice. I'm getting the dankness straight away, that little bit of stone fruit, a little bit of resin, and a nice juicy sort of clementine orange on the finish. Light to medium body, a little bit of carbonation, not a huge amount. It's a real soft mouthfeel on this one. A little bit of bitterness on the end. Not bad at all. I'll leave the remainder of that in there. And then we're going to go on to the Holy Hand Grenade, the murkier cousin of Paradise City. So back to the... yeah, it's definitely a little coconut in there, a little bit of... yeah, there's definitely something. Wanda's right, she said there was something unusual about the aroma on this. And it is that kind of peppery... wait, is it peppery? No. Maybe peppery, maybe a little bit floral. It's what Nelson Sauvin brings to the table. It's a bit of a unique hop in that sense. I like it. I've only tried a few beers with it in, and I've liked every single one, so bottoms up. Lighter on the flavour, similar kind of mouthfeel, less hot burn, less of that bitterness as well. This is a smoother sort of finish of the two. There's more dankness to this one, I think, than there is to the Paradise City. So much less resin on the taste. Paradise City is clearly winning the bitterness battle out of the two. I like them both. I like them both a lot, which is dangerous. So, that's two on their own. Let us blend into the remainder of the Paradise City some of the Holy Hand Grenade. Blow this shit up. Come on, let's go. So we're about 50-50. Give a bit of a swirl, get them blended. And let's see, do we get a different aroma? Let's have a whiff. Oh, the head is much nicer. Now I've got them combined, you've got a much creamier head on the beer. Let's have a whiff. It mellows out. You've still got a little bit of dankness. You've got a much creamier aroma. But you lose what distinct kind of stone fruit from the Paradise City. That's gone. That's mellowed out. But so has that kind of floral element of the Nelson Sauvin. They've blended together well on the aromas, you know, so they're kind of hiding what they're about, but you know that the constituent parts are there. Let's have a taste. Do you know what? That is a much better blend than I expected. It's a more well-rounded beer. You've got the creaminess has been amplified throughout. You've got that bitterness that's been mellowed from the Paradise City. That's kind of playing nicely with the oaty body. You've got that clementine that just sits really in the background now. And you've got that nice little floral aspect that is accentuated by that tiny little bit of pepperiness from the Paradise City. I like that as a blend. I like that a lot. It's much more rounded. Much more rounded. So, what do I think of the beers? Let's start with the Paradise City. The cool green can, this one. What do I think of it? Would I buy it again? I would, absolutely. I like the bitterness. I like the dankness that comes from it. I like a little bit of that stone fruit aroma. I like the orange on the finish. Would I change anything about it? Yeah, there's something I'd change about every bit if I'm brutally honest. But as it stands, I like it. I like what it stands for. Would I rush out and buy it again? I would actually, yeah. It doesn't drink like 6.8% in any way, shape or form. It hides all of the ABV really, really well. It's got some bitterness, it's got some hop presence, it's got a nice body to it, it's got a lovely silky smooth mouthfeel. I would happily buy this again. And on the Untapped score sheet, therefore, I'm going to give Paradise City 4.5 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet, which I think is really, really nice. Holy Hand Grenade, Sabro and Nelson Sauvin. Would I buy you again? I would, because it's a little something different. You know, you've got some flavours that you don't normally get. Don't see Nelson Sauvin in a lot of things, and indeed I don't see Sabro in a lot of things either. And to see the two combined is a really, really nice, pleasant surprise. I like the aromas. I like that kind of unusual thing that it's got going on. Yeah, it's there, it's present. You've got a little bit of that floral nature, you've got a little bit of coconut, you've got a bit of all things unusual in a New England IPA. Would I rush out and buy it again? I would, for that reason alone, because it is a bit different. It's not as bitter as I normally like them, but I like it. It's got hops in that you don't normally see, and they're nice hops. Again, with this one, you don't see any of the ABV as well, and the body and mouthfeel are spot on. You've got a little bit of everything that I like. Would I change anything? Yeah, of course I would. I'd ramp up the bitterness. I'd ramp up more of those hops, you know, to give it a real smash you in the face like a freight train kind of approach. But that's not to criticise what it is. It works well. Then I would give the Holy Hand Grenade a little bit more. I'm going to give that 4.75 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet. This one, the kind of slightly less dystopian society type can. As a blend though, this blend is greater than the sum of its parts. It works really well. It's a more rounded beer. It's a better balanced beer. You've got a blend of all the flavour, the hops. It works really, really well. And because Untapped doesn't go in anything more than, well, quarters, you know. The blend is better than the greater of the two beers. So I'm going to give the blend 5 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet. So, before I disappear and go and enjoy the rest of these beers on my son's 10th birthday meal, there's some buttons down there. You got a like, you got a dislike, you got a comment and subscribe. Use any combination of them as you wish. Very much appreciate every single comment, like, dislike, whatever. I don't mind. Before I leave you, I'm going to say, these have been the beers. I've been Nick. Go and check out Wonder Beer Wonder, and I will see you again soon for another video. Bye.